Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yep.
Okay. Hi, Kevin, right?
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So I hear that you've had some stomach issues lately. Do you want to tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, I've kind of just had this feeling of kind of burning when I swallow. Like some people say heartburn. My stomach kind of feels nauseous. And I've been having some diarrhea. And I've also been pretty dizzy lately.
Okay. Do you know about how recently this started or when you started to experience these symptoms?
Probably in the last few weeks, I'd say. It's been happening probably 2 to 3 times a week.
Okay, and has it been getting worse too? Or did everything come on together? Has it gradually been getting worse with more symptoms? What do you think?
I don't know. It probably started after my baseball game one day, and then it just kind of has been consistent since.
Okay, and do you feel like you've eaten anything new, drank anything new that you're not really, that anything new you've added to your diet?
Well, I've been starting to chew tobacco recently.
Okay.
At my baseball games.
Okay.
But it shouldn't really be causing nausea or anything like that.
Okay, so I think that this, if you don't recall eating, drinking anything new, that's really the only new thing.
Well, I swallow my chew because I don't want anybody to know. And
Okay.
there's scouts coming to my games because I'm trying to go to college, and my parents are there, and so my friends give me the chew, and then I just swallow it. So.
Okay, so I think that is going to be the cause of your heartburn, your diarrhea, your stomach upset.
Really?
Because, yeah, so as you may or may not know, so chewing tobacco is meant to be spit out. So all these chemicals that you're swallowing are causing a lot of irritation through your GI tract. So that's going to be what's causing those issues. So it is definitely not...
I'm not breathing it in like a cigarette.
No, so that's the thing. So chewing tobacco, what it is, I don't know do you know much about it, or it's just kind of something that you've tried recently?
I mean, I know all the kids do it, so obviously I wanted to try it, and I know it's safer than smoking, and I'd rather chew tobacco because it's in my mouth than put it in my lungs, because I would never do that.
Okay, so I do want to just kind of give you some information about what this is and kind of what it is doing. So as much as you're not inhaling it, it's not going into your lungs, it is tobacco still, and so it is bad for you. So what it is, there's actually little pieces of glass in with the tobacco, and so when you put it in your lips, those little pieces of glass are going to cut up your lips so that the tobacco can get into your system, and so that you can get that feeling of doing it. But it is so, like smoking, all of those toxins are getting into your body. And so that is definitely not very good. It's not good for you at all. So though you're not smoking it, you do have an increased risk of mouth cancer, mouth sores, anything like that. And so that's definitely not something that I don't think you or honestly anybody around should be making a habit of.
Can you not tell my parents about this?
We're gonna figure this out together, and we'll discuss it and just kind of see what we want to do and how we want to go from here. Okay?
Okay.
So, have you felt, you've been doing this for what? How long?
4 weeks.
Okay, and have you felt any type of addiction to it at all?
No.
Okay, so that is really good. So, like smoking, chewing tobacco can be addictive. And so we definitely, now that you're starting, we do want to try and get you to stop because it is overall not good for your health.
What if I just stop swallowing it?
Stopping swallowing it will definitely help your stomach problems, your heartburn, your nausea, your diarrhea, that dizziness, but it's not going to decrease any type of risk from the exposure to the toxins.
But I just want to do it, in high school with my friends. I'm not trying to chew tobacco for the rest of my life.
I know. But it is addictive, and it can be very addictive. And though you say that now, if you're doing it a few times a week, it might turn into once a day, then it might turn into 2 to 3 times a day, and that's definitely not something you want to get in the habit of, but also it's not something I don't think you'll be able to hide if you're doing it that often with your spit, and especially if you're not going to be swallowing it.
Yeah, I just I don't know, I like doing it, and I don't really want to stop.
Okay. Is there anything that we can try? I don't know, have you tried doing the, chewing gum instead during the game, something like that you'd be interested in?
No, I mean, everyone just, all the upperclassmen just, talk about how, if you chew, then, it'll make you, a better player, and, it, makes me feel like I'm more of, a guy, and so, I mean, me going and chewing gum or something like that is going to look so stupid.
Okay. I do understand how there's, that social aspect around it, especially with the baseball team, but I do think that the risks of chewing tobacco is something that you should be aware of just in the long term. If you do feel that you're not ready to stop using it and you do feel that you're going to keep doing it, I do want you to be aware of just the issues that it can cause in your mouth. Because of all that glass and all the toxins, you can get ulcers, you can get breakdown of your teeth. And so if you do feel that you're going to continue to do it, I want you to definitely be very aware of your mouth hygiene, checking your mouth for ulcers, any sores, any tooth decay, anything like that you should definitely be aware of, because if I'm going to be honest with you, in the end it can lead to mouth cancer, throat cancer, neck cancer, which is definitely not something you're going to want down the line.
No, but I mean, if I just do it until I can go to college, is that really going to harm me that much?
You're obviously going to be at a decreased risk than someone who's doing it every day through their life, but doing it however many times does increase that risk every time you do it. And it is, like cigarettes, addicting. And so doing it once can lead to 2 to 3 times, and every day, multiple times a day.
Do you think I could, cut it in half and then something like that?
Yeah, if you want to start trying to slowly, use less to start off, and maybe if you do feel that it's a social thing and you feel like you need to do it to fit in, it's obviously not my first choice for you and your health is to have you continue to do it, but I do think using less of it, doing it less frequently, definitely spitting is going to be something to help you decrease that risk, and slowly, hopefully over time, using less and less until you aren't using it anymore.
Do you think if I, still swallow it, it's going to, mess up my body?
I do think there's definitely not anything good going on when you're swallowing it. It's those toxins going in, and you feel that burn, and all that burning is your lining of your esophagus being broken down because of that. So you can, instead, just because you're putting it in your mouth, swallowing it can lead to throat cancer and things like that, and definitely ulcers and just poor health outcomes.
I just, don't really want to stop. I mean, I know, it's gonna, hurt or whatever, and, I can, get cancer, but I mean, am I really gonna get cancer?
There is a really, really high risk of doing it. Obviously, the more you do it, the bigger the risk, but just you are using the same tobacco that are in cigarettes, and you do know how big of a risk smoking cigarettes goes with lung cancer, and just as chewing tobacco, there's a really high risk of throat and mouth cancer.
Is there, anything I can use besides, chewing gum? I don't know.
If you have said that you don't feel addicted to the substance at all?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess, I crave it sometimes, but, I mean, I just do it more because, all my friends do it.
Right. I'm personally not yet aware of any alternate products that you can use that are similar to chewing tobacco, besides that, I know a lot of baseball players also just chew gum. I can definitely do some research for you to see if there's anything similar with less toxins or anything that might make you feel more comfortable with around your baseball team than chewing gum. But I do think at this point, I will look into things for you, definitely trying to cut back on how much you do it, maybe how many times you do it in a week, maybe if you feel like you're doing it at games and practices, try and wean it down to just games and things like that.
Okay. Sounds good.